Let's take a nice deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. Good morning. It's Pause with Elizabeth Elenor. I've just been struggling with my computer that won't turn on. So I'm now doing pause on my phone instead. And I want to pause. And, you know, sometimes these things happen for that moment to pause, right? To stop and reflect and look and what's going on. You know, sometimes the computer just won't turn on. So today I wanted to talk about something that I'm noticing. I've had quite a few people that I know all of a sudden change beliefs and move into a new type of belief. A couple of people that I know have turned to Christianity just recently, right? And when I've discussed it with people and looked at things, there's a couple of things that I really want to share that is quite important to growth, personal spiritual growth, right? Because I find things curious. I look at my own personal growth and see how things are moving and, you know, how I align with things and all of, you know, what's going on for me. And then I also observe where other people are at and what's going on for them, right? Because in my mind, the way I see things is that everything is one, and that this major big consciousness is having an experience of itself in all different facets. But as soon as we go into I'm doing it right and you're doing it wrong, now we're in a different dimension. Now we're in the place of duality, where we're in separation and we feel like there's us and them, right? And that there's something broken in the system. And if it's not me that's broken, then it's you that's broken, right? And that's judgment. And I just find it really, really interesting when someone grabs hold of a belief and then goes, this is my belief and everyone else needs to believe it too. And so it's just not the way it works, because everyone has a piece of the puzzle that's creating this wholeness, and we're all on a different part of our journey experiencing ourselves in a different way. And so it's like every single cell in the body has its own function, its own story, its own journey that it's going through. It's performing a particular way to keep the body functioning so that it's whole, right? So one of the things that I know is that spirituality has such a big, it's got such a big definition to it. And spirituality can be all sorts of things, from doing witchcraft to being right into crystals to tarot cards to New Age, as they call it. And I don't quite understand what New Age is, right? But, you know, creation, all of these things, evolution, all of these things can go under the guise of spirituality. And yet, when you're working in Christianity, yes, there's different genres as well. There's different versions of Christianity from the one book, or you know, any other religion, or Buddhism, or you know, Hinduism, all these different religions. One of the things that I notice is that Christianity has a structure to it. It's got a container. It's got like a head of the house, right? Christianity's head of the house is Jesus. And one of the things that I have, after 28 years of working in this field, recognized that because there's not a lot of structure to spirituality, people can get lost and go down crazy rabbit holes of understanding things and taking things on as gospel, or taking things on and becoming addicted to using things like pendulums, right? Like, oh, I've got to I've got to ask my guides, I've got to check my pendulum. And so you're taking that energy and you're giving it external to yourself, right? Which is exactly what Christianity does as well. There's this God outside, Jesus outside, all of these things. And there's this external representation of some sort of authority figure that's giving you all of the information you need to support your personal growth and your survival. Whether it be survival, excuse me, whether it be survival in this world, or whether it's survival in the next world, there's something that we develop because of the nature of who we are, where we go into an external representation of power. And so I've looked at why these things happen and what's been going on for me when it comes to my spiritual growth. And what I personally see is that I see that everything is one. That's what my main premise is, that everything is one. And I was talking to Tim about this the other day, because as soon as we make a judgment of somebody else's belief or definition of themselves or label of the world or anything like that, and we assume a superior state in any way, shape or form, now we are just as bad as everybody else who's in this place of feeling separate, you know, I'm the elite, all of those things, right? When you can let go of this us and them mentality and move into a space of recognizing that everyone is having their own journey, and it may be different to yours, but that's actually part of the process, is that we are all here experiencing ourselves in our own individual state of the big body, like the celestial body of whatever this consciousness is, right? Whatever language label you want to use, you've got your own label, right? So structure is extremely important, because you need like a container of some sort to hold you in that space. And so that's why I'm like, why did this person go from where they were at? Excuse me. Sorry, we had pizza last night, and I don't do well with gluten. When we have this state, right? Why did somebody go from where they were, and were they floundering and I didn't even realize, to holding on to a new doctrine completely, right? And that doctrine, whatever that doctrine is, their soul needs that information for them to grow, right? And so I am aware that structure is extremely important, because without structure, everything's leaking everywhere, and that's where chaos happens. So when it comes to what your spiritual understanding is or belief, what is your structure? What do you have as your container to hold on to, so that you are not leaking energy everywhere? Imagine, you know, a cup. You've got this cup. I've got my golden turmeric lemon water in it. you've got this cup, and it gives me everything that I need to hold all the information that I require for myself. When you haven't got when you haven't got that structure, and this is where it's challenging for spiritual people, because we go into very much into the feminine, where there's flow and, you know, like intuitive wisdom, and we're just in this space of emptiness, right? We need that container to hold that, which is the masculine energy. We need that holding so that we have everything that we require, and we're in balance. So we've got that flow, we've got that beautiful energy coming in, and we know what it is that we want to create. We've got a direct path. We're using the masculine to take action, to hold that information, to hold that focus. So what is it that you've got? And we're coming up to the end of the year, where a lot of people are starting to go into the reflection of, what did you create in 2025? Was it everything that you wanted? Like, have you learned everything that you wanted to learn? You know, what did you do? Where did you fall down? Or where did you, you know, get off track? What were the lessons that you learned, right? And what is it that you've gained? What is the knowledge that you've gained, so that you can take that knowledge into 2026? Because as soon as we plug in to the doctrine of the matrix, right? The doctrine of just going through the year, we're just having these little mini wins, and thinking that those mini wins are enough, while we're plugged in to a system that's taking us through this slow distraction, continuously, here we are at the end of the year. Gee, didn't that year go fast? Like all of the things that you hear and that you reflect on, and it was good enough. I did do this, I did do a I did lose a little bit of weight, or I did I kept my job, or like whatever it was. Is it enough? Is it enough for what your soul is here to experience? Because our soul is here to expand into way more, to be way more than we think we have the ability to create. I have it's a visualization, is a shamanic journey that takes you through the journey of experiencing the expanded version of yourself. What your soul has the potential of creating, what it's here to experience, all of your highest potential, what's your highest timeline. And when you go through that process, you get a series of little emails that take you through the journey, so that you can then look at what it is that you're creating. And now is the perfect time to go through that journey right now and recognize, what is it that I'm wanting to focus on for 2026? Are you prepared to look at all of the things that you've done and go, I need to step up to that next level. I'm ready to take on that next version of myself. I might not completely be ready, because there's part of me that's scared crapless of it, right? However, I'm going to take on the fact that I know there's so much more to me than what I experience of myself. And I'm no longer satisfied with the ho-hum little itty-bitty moments that I have. So, if you're interested in the Land of Plenty, it's called the Land of Plenty, meaning you've got plenty of experience. Drop plenty into the comments. I'll send you the link so that you can then go through and look at what is it that you're going to experience for 2026. And are you prepared to really hold on to that focus and hold on to that vision and take the momentum and the grace and listen to your higher self and do the actions required to get all of those miracles? That's me. I'm heading. Take care. I'm going to try and get my computer to work. I've got clients today. Enjoy, and I'll see you next Tuesday.